Hey guys, today I'm going to show you how to use properly the pickup feature from the animal controller. What is the pickup feature? The pickup feature allows the animal to pick up and drop objects. I can pick them pressing E, move them around, and then drop it using the same key. So I'm going to try this with the little dragons, which do not have any pickup feature set up or any pickup animations, so we're going to improvise. So what we need the pickup area and all the pickup components. I'm going to create an empty game object here on the internal components, call it interaction, and I'm going to add a collider, box collider, a gizmo visualizer to see the collider better. Let's change the color to something like this. Add the pickup and drop component and fill the reference for the pickup area with the collider. Change the layer to ignore raycast, otherwise it will be recognized as part of the animal. And let's place this collider so it will be right in front of the character. Now, if I hit play, you see that a trigger proxy will be added. This trigger proxy will be added at runtime, but if you want more control, you can add it on the editor. Now let's change the layers to nothing and then to item. All the objects that will interact with this trigger need to be on the layer item. Now let's create a sphere, a small sphere, and set it to layer item. And add a pickable component. With the pickable component, you will see by default that some events have listeners using the try pickup M event. Also, let's add a rigid body with a mass of 5, drag set to 1, and angular drag also set to 1. Then you play, it will fall. Yeah, and it will move. Great. In the pickable component, the try pickup event is used with the UI when an item can be picked. So on the main canvas, we're going to add the try pickup prefab. Let's search for the interact UI and we'll see that we have a pickup UI with the try pickup event. And if we add it here on the main canvas and go to the sphere, you will see that every time that item is focused inside the area, we will have this UI that will help us to know if we can pick up an object or not. Now let's set a holder to the pickup component, which means that we need a transform to parent the pickable object to the character. So here on the skeleton, let's find the jawbone and let's add an empty game object and let's call it holder. Set it on a proper place like this and set it as a reference on the pickup component on the holder parameter. Finally, we need to add an input to the pickup feature. So add a new input on the Malbers input component. Let's call it pickup drop. Use the E key and set the button to down. And select the input down event. Drag the interaction to the listener and search for mpickup, try pickup drop. Now, play. So here, we hit E. We already pick the object in the mouth and we hit E again. We're going to drop it. E, drop it, pick it, drop it, pick it, drop it. As you can see, the little dragon is pushed backwards. That is because we have this thing here that is set to align on pick. We disable that. We're picking and dropping. We pick and drop, pick and drop, and drop. Easy, right? No animations. So we need to add those. Right now we don't have any pickup animations for the little dragon, but we can improvise and use the it animation to simulate a pickup animation. Let's find the mode layers, go to the emotion and actions, and find the it animation to find the files. As you can see, we can use the first part of the it animation to make a pickup animation. Create a new animation, call it pick. Let's make the rotation and position, and set the starting frame from 821 to 825. And now we have a pickup animation. Perfect. Now, to add an animation while picking an object, what we can do is to add it on the pickable object. So, to achieve this, what we can do is to add a pick delay, so we can use the pre-pick event to call the pickup animation. And luckily, I have a pick item pick reaction that will play the pickup mode with the pickup animation. We don't have any pickup mode on the dragon, but we'll fix that. Let the function mode reaction react. Now let's add that animation to the little dragon. Go to mode here, add the pickup mode, which have an ID of 7. Let's drag it up, set the active ability to 0 or none, and add a new ability called picked with the index of 1 on the animator. So we go to mode here, let's add a new substate machine and call it pick. And here we're going to add a new empty state named pick. We need to add the mode behavior with the mode ID pickup, and go to little dragon animations and select the animation that we added, the pick animation. Now let's add the transitions. Set the exit time to 0.9 and the transition duration to 0.1, and let's create another transition for interrupting the mode. Disable the has exit time transition, and the condition is mode status equal to -2. These are the common exit transitions for each mode animations. Now we need to set the entry transition, and the conditions are mode equal to 7, which is the ID, the pickup mode, you can see here, and the value of the ability, which is 1. So the condition is on the transition 7001. 7 for the mode ID and 1 for the ability ID. We also need to set the mode status equal to 0, meaning that there's no mode currently playing. That is 0.1. I think that should be it. Let's play the animation. Go here, E, pick it, VRI, and E drop it. Pick it, E drop it. Now, as you can see, sometimes if we are looking there, we'll pick the object while looking forward. So we need to disable the look at feature using this message behavior. We need here at the message behavior, and on enter we set disable look at true, and on exit we do the same, set it to false. We play, we look there, we pick up, there's no look animation. Perfect. And we hit E again, it drops. We can do the same thing for the drop animation, but we're going to set the speed to -1, and for the condition we're going to set mode equal to 7002. Back to the dragon. Now we're going to set a new ability and call it drop, and set the index to 2. And we also need on this sphere a drop delay, so we can call the animation first and then drop the ball. So select the item pick reaction and find the item drop reaction and add it to the on pre-drop event. Let's give a proper name to the drop animation on the animator, and I think that's it. Go here, pick it, perfect. If we hit E again, we drop it. Oh, that's awesome. Now the next problem we have is that if we pick the ball, we can do attacks like the fireball, we can do the fire breath, and all sorts of actions and modes while we are holding the ball. So we need to fix that. How can we do this? We go to the interaction game object and we use the onPick event to disable modes on the animal. So drag the animal to the listener and find the mode disable method. We need to disable the attack 1 and the attack 2, which will be the melee attacks and the fireball and fire breath attacks. So if I hit play, go here, and I pick it and I try to fire or make a fire breath, I cannot do it. And if I drop it, this is not working because we need to enable it back. So do the same for the on-dropping event and enable back all the modes that we disabled. Now that everything is set correctly, let's try it again. Here, E, we pick it, we cannot fire, we drop it, and we can fire. Perfect. Do this for all the features that you won't be doing while picking objects, so you can disable them and enable them back when you drop the objects. And that's it. That is how you set up the pickup and drop feature.